Hello, 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 this is the Windows Show, and we are live again. Hey everyone, stream seems okay. Hope everybody's alright. Checking out little details, everything is nice there. Hey everyone, welcome aboard. And I almost missed the time. I was actually listening to some Blondie, and I was like listening to I think the song was "Hanging on the Telephone," and I was like, "Oh, this is a good song." So I haven't heard that for a long time, and I'm listening and listening and listening, and then I look at the clock, and it's like it's 2:59. I gotta be live. So nice to have everybody here, and yeah. So the interesting part of Blondie is that I've started doing something because I have a subscription to Google Play Music. Somebody the other day sent me a list of the 100 top albums of the 80s you have to listen to, and also for the 90s. And I decided, you know what? That's a great way to use my music subscription. Why not go to the each album and you know, just listen to them one by one. So it started off with Parallel Lines by Blondie, which is apparently one of the top 100 albums to listen to in the 80s. So I've been enjoying that, and you know, hearing new songs that I've ever heard before. Anyways, this is not the subject. We'll have a music show if you want to talk about music. Welcome aboard. This is the Live Tech Show number 115, and we are May the 3rd, 2018. And of course, we are here to talk about technology. A few little things. I'll have a little ranting moment with the rollout of the April 2018 update, because I don't know, but after day 3, 4, it's starting to look bad. There's a lot of people complaining. I was looking at the blogs today, and I'm kind of wondering if they haven't pushed out a build that maybe needed more work. Anyways, we'll talk about it a little bit. So, anyways, welcome aboard. My name is Gilles. I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. If you have any questions, I'll answer them after my ranting and my tech news. And my machine right here is installing the Fast Ring build 17661 as we speak. So it's doing that in the background as I'm doing the live show. Hopefully we'll do a little review of that later tonight. So hang in there, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And I was thinking just before we start about, you know, every year I take a few weeks off, you know, in the summertime, and I get a lot of people saying, hey, you shouldn't do that. I don't like it when you take some time off. I haven't decided yet this year what I'm going to do. Honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And by the way, if there's a lot of noise, it's because the window's open, because it's summertime in Montreal since yesterday. Yesterday we had 25 Celsius, 26 Celsius, close to 80 Fahrenheit. And today it's about 20, 21, and raining. But it's perfect weather to have the windows open. So kind of feels good. So hey everybody, Tim Robinson, Zach Antle, Chris Bowman, David Walker, Patrick Manny, Sheriff's House, Bobby Burgess, Nilashka, or Linaksha, Nilaksha. Nice to have you here. Sean Robinson, R313J283. What do we have? Sabo Salt, nice to have you here. My face should be here. Sometimes you need to refresh. Mr. Mully, nice to have you here. Yep. a pirate. I am a pirate. Douglas Elliott, nice to have you here. If I miss out on anybody, please say hello. I want to say hi to everyone. Always nice to have all of you on board, my friends. It's always pretty good. Grapple Pearls, nice to have you here. Rick Sada, nice to have you here. What else do we have? Zakantos says, been raining, not happy. Yesterday was beautiful, today's raining. And Albert Zappa, nice to have you here. 85 in Ohio. Whoa, that's summer temperatures. And so we're going to talk about all of this. Keep your questions till the end, please. I'll answer your questions with pleasure as I go through the tech news. Thanks for the donations. I've received several donations since yesterday, of course. Often coincides with the first few days of the month. So thanks to everybody that donates. And talking about donations, well, here is where it's all happening. If you want to donate, you can send me PayPal donation at the paypal.me/shortwave, and of course through Patreon if you want to give me a little something every month. Join 10 patrons, and basically nice to have you all on board. And thanks for the donations, everybody. Always welcome. It helps me continue and pay for the equipment that I need to replace from time to time. Like last time was the oh, there's something. I know why it's... Sorry, guys. Just back in 2 seconds. I was wondering why it was a little dark. I forgot that there's one projector that I always use. That was turned off. The one that is actually the strongest of all. So I was wondering why it was a little more, kind of a little dark. But now it seems kind of a little better. Of course, there's always the darkness that changes depending on the background of the TV here. So nice to have you all on board, and thanks for those that have donated, by the way. Hello there, Cycler39, nice to have you here. Leon Jones, hello there, nice to have you on board. And always cool to have everybody. Pittsburgh Pirates, I miss the Montreal Expos. I'd love to have a baseball show here, I can tell you that. So hey, Windows 10 April 2018 update is rolling out, and there's a few little weird things in there that I got to talk about. So first of all, started rolling out, of course, later than it was supposed to because of the bugs that they had, and internally it took more time before they could push it out. Then Monday arrived, and we were supposed to have it Monday, but Microsoft had mentioned that it would appear only for people that seeked it. That means if you went manually to download it. Problem is, it downloaded through Windows Update for pretty much everybody. And now there's a thing that's happening that the more I am looking at it, the more it seems to be a problem upgrade. So I started looking at the details of the upgrade since Monday, and I've been looking at the blogs. I've been looking at what people are sharing, and then it came obvious. First of all, there's a serious USB problem issue with many computers. A lot of people complaining the USB ports are not detected, or detected, and if you go to the control panel and you look at it, it says that the USB ports are unavailable or broken, or there's something wrong. And it's more than just, you know, a few PCs. It seems to be a big problem, which is surprising because, I mean, it's not like USB, and you know, it's not general to one specific item. I mean, if it would be a USB problem with an obscure, you know, driver for something that nobody has except, you know, 20 insiders, I understand that maybe there could be a problem. But this is a general USB problem. And I can't believe that that went under the radar in the insider testing. And I'm starting to wonder if the insider testing has maybe gone a little, you know, astray. It's been like in the wrong direction a little bit. Because I find it really weird. Second problem, and this one, I mean, you're affecting what is the most popular software that people use, Google Chrome. And more people are actually having freezes on Google Chrome. And once again, I can't understand that it got through insiders. And come on, Chrome, it's not like, I'm installing, the Zebra browser that like 13 people use around the world. No, I am talking about Google Chrome browser. And even Microsoft today had to acknowledge, oh yeah, we know, but we're going to fix it next week. What? You're breaking the most popular browser? Why the hell did this happen? What is happening at the Insider program right now that is not enabling you to find these bugs? There must be something wrong somewhere. I gotta say, I'm starting to say that if you haven't upgraded, you know what? Go and use that little trick in the settings and put yourself in metered connections, so that bill doesn't appear on your computer. Because I'm starting to freak out a little bit of what I'm seeing. And actually, just before I joined the show, I was on Paul Thurrot's webpage, and he has a premium article, and I believe the title is like Redmond, there is a problem or something like that. And he is actually talking about his own computers that he's upgrading, and he's got blue screens and all sorts of issues, including that USB issue and the Chrome freeze. And it's like, whoa, what the hell is happening, Microsoft? You can't push an update every 6 months and expect people to like it and to be happy with it if it's broken all the time. I mean, we had two pretty good, updates with Creator and Fall Creator. But I'm sorry, but this one smells a little bit like anniversary update. Where the hell did things go wrong so that the quality of your build actually went down? I'm starting, I'm honestly, as I was listening to Blondie and was about to get live, I was thinking of, you know what, I'm going to add in one of my videos, don't upgrade. Wait, there's some problems. There's something wrong. And I think that if you haven't updated yet, put yourself in metered connection so that Windows Update doesn't push that build for you. It seems to have a lot of issues, and I'm totally I'm totally surprised and pissed that is happening. I mean, whoa, come on. How can I can't believe it. How can you not see? How can you not see a problem with Google Chrome? I'm really kind of flabbergasted here at that fact. So if you guys haven't updated for now, for those that have not updated for now, it's easy. You just go to your settings in Windows 10. And I'm sorry if it's slow. It's because I'm installing the build, so it's slowing down my machine a little bit. In your settings, you will go into your internet connectivity when I get the panel one day. Well, it really slows down when the build is installing. So go to Network and Internet. In Network and Internet, you will have your own internet connection available there, either on Wi-Fi or Ethernet. So if you're on Wi-Fi, I'm on Wi-Fi. What you want to do is click Wi-Fi, click the name of your network at the top, and go down. You'll see something called metered connection. Turn the switch on. Turn that switch on. Okay? Once you do that, it will prevent your computer from upgrading to this new build, and wait a little while. Wait for it to settle down, because right now, the more I'm looking at the blogs, the more it looks like a big mess. And if you don't want to have problems, you know, and I've had tons of people write me saying, you know what, I got back to 1709 because that thing doesn't work. So wow, this is a serious issue, and I'm going to tell you one thing. You use metered connections, because right now, you know what? If you upgrade, I can't even promise that it's going to work well. So, and it will be one of my videos, my ranting videos later that I'll post later tonight. Got a couple of videos that I'll post tonight, and including one for Grapple Pearls that will be how to tweak the registry to stop having the disk space notifications. Because frankly, you're getting those because of a kind of a known issue. It's not a Windows 10 problem. It's a general Windows problem that's been there for a long time, and we'll talk about it anyways. So anyways, I'll have a ranting video later on, so for sure, and I'll show you guys how to do things. So anyways, we're gonna start. You know, it's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see the cumulative update next week. I mean, you know, I don't have any issues here, except a little bit of a slow startup on my main machine. I don't use Chrome long enough maybe to see if it freezes, because I don't use Chrome almost at all. I use Chrome when I want to post videos on my Fix-It channel. So anyways, we'll be checking that out, and hope you enjoy my ranting videos. And I kind of have the impression I'm going to start having a few ranting videos in the next week. Something just isn't right here. And I can't understand that, you know, that goes through insiders, not with Google Chrome and not with the USB ports. I mean, come on. You don't have enough of millions of insiders to let you know that there's something wrong? What is wrong with the way that you are seeing our problems? What is wrong with the way that the information is not reaching you guys? I don't get it. I don't get it. And you seriously are messing up your update, 2 updates a year, when we look at what's happening right now. You can't afford at all to have a update that's a messed up piece of crap. You gotta have something that's stable, that works well, and that doesn't annoy everybody. You know, like I always say, nobody normal effing cares about it. Nobody normal cares about having that update. And that is the simple thing. And now you're pushing an update that nobody wants, that will break your computer. Great job, man. Great job. Okay, Windows 10 Redstone 5. Windows 10 Redstone 5. So we have our first build today going through 17661, and basically it's the new fastering build for what's the future of Windows. And so if you're on the fast ring on the insiders, we're moving ahead now to what is the future of a broken Windows. And so cheers everybody. By the way, I forgot to mention that I've got a nice donation from a guy that is called Robert, and that expressly said half of the donation is for, you know, what I do, and the other half is to get myself some beer for tonight. And I thought, I'm gonna rant, so I better have beer. Nothing like ranting and beer. Makes the ranting even better. So thanks, Robert. Okay. So we're moving ahead. We're moving ahead, and that means that, okay, we've started to go in a new direction for everybody that's stayed on the Insider program. We're going to talk about it in the Windows Insider Hour a little later. My machine is updating right now. Where is it at? Let's check that out. My machine is right now at settings. Let's just go see here. Update and security. So it's in the preparation phase right now of updating. So right now it's at 60% install. That's just the preparation for the real install. So hopefully, what I'd like, if it actually is ready to install, I'll let it do that blue screen install thing while we're doing the Insider show. Why not? I got no slides anyway to show here for time, so I think it's going to be nice to have it there. So I would get that, Patrick, the Windows 10 Beer Edition. That would be a seriously messed up Windows 10 edition, I can tell you that. I'd like it even better. A Windows 10 Drunk Edition. Maybe Donna has been, she's been showing, Donna Soccer has been showing pictures of herself at different places drinking wine. And one of the things that I taught in my head with the broken update coming up with the April 2018 update is, okay, too much wine while doing coding on Windows 10. I'm pretty sure that's the problem. So anyways, we'll talk about that in the Insider. Hey, about that company that you want to just, kick their butt. Well, you can't anymore because they're shutting down. So Kenbridge Analytics has been around that scandal with Facebook. And basically, it had an effect. They couldn't really, handle the pressure. And honestly, they were idiots when they were talking to the press. They were idiots. Jim Maley, nice to have you here. Did I miss anybody? Oh yeah, Yaman Kanakri, nice to have you here. Anybody else I've missed? Please say hello. I'm seeing the chat go and I'm in my little world now with my news. So anyways, they were just a bunch of idiots that just couldn't handle the pressure, and so they declared bankruptcy and are shutting down. But in the whole while is that why, what is happening with the data? It's not clear. We haven't had a clear idea, and the last few times that we've seen this, there's been kind of news that they were still keeping the data from Facebook users, which shouldn't be. So I don't know. I hope they're not keeping the data, because it's not something that you want. And really, I'm happy that company's gone. You know what? You screw up things, you do something you shouldn't have done, you shouldn't exist anymore. I'm sorry. No company should do bad things like that. I mean, you're taking for granted what? That we're idiots and that you'll do whatever you want with the data we got. And if there's a positive point on this is the changes that this brings to Facebook. At least there's some things that are coming, including a button. I just saw today they're going to have in our settings we'll have a button that we can click, and that's going to say, hey, you want to delete your Facebook history. But oh yeah, it probably will. These companies shut down and open up on another name, and they're going to call they're going to want to be like saints, so they're going to call themselves Jesus Data, so that everybody says, oh, that must be a good company because it has Jesus in the name or something, things like that. So it's I wouldn't be surprised that they're just changing. One thing for sure, Kenbridge Analytica cannot, here it happens all the time. This always amazes me. It happens all the time here. You know, we got Canadian companies that do bad things, and they file bankruptcy, and then, you know, a couple of months later, you see them in the news again. But they don't have the same name. They're started again with another name, and you're like, how can this be? You know, when a company files for bankruptcy, it shouldn't be able to restart, you know, under a new name, or at least before a long time. You know, crazy things. So yeah, there's a vote on net neutrality. There's a lot of things. It's interesting. Just a quick note on that. Ajit Pai himself kind of wasn't that eager to do what he needed to push net neutrality off the scale. Almost as if now he's like, well, I'm not sure I want to do it anymore. I don't know. It's really crazy. So Douglas Elliott managed to find a metered connection. Cool. And wait, because honestly, that April 2018 update doesn't smell good right now. So anyways, you know, like I said, they had to wait probably some kind of a delay period so that they can open up under a new name. And you know, it's sad because what they declare bankruptcy, but in reality, they got tons and tons of money elsewhere that they can use to do other things. You know, it's just crazy. So, anyways, bye-bye. Okay, did I just move one slide? Let me just check that here. Man, the computer's so slow right now. Hello. Yeah, it's working. Too much installing build. So anyways, on this news, oh yeah, it is. Let me just go to previous. So yeah, okay. That's okay. Oh, I just saw an error message or something. Okay. Anyways, hey, that report that came out that that said that 91% of users, okay, so 91%, and we're talking about regular folks. 91% of regular folks, when asked the question, said that it was bad to have the same password everywhere. That's nice. People know that it's bad to do that. But then when they ask the question, do you have the same password everywhere? 51%, something like that, said, oh yeah, I have the same password everywhere. Okay, so you know it's bad, but you still do it. Come on, people. Isn't that hard to have a few passwords? Come on. And worst, because that one, you know, okay, so let's suppose you got a really good password, and of course there's a risk, because the biggest problem with that is the fact that, you know, if one gets hacked and they steal the password, then they have your password for everything else. But the worst is that it's 59 or 56% that have the same password everywhere. But in a second question, so let's say you're on Gmail and Gmail gets hacked, or there's a data breach. Are you going to change your password? Well, 51% of the people said no. And you're like, what? So if there's a data breach, you're not going to take the time to change your password. Which now brings me to, oh, so that's why everybody's getting hacked somehow. So, you know. Now that is such a lame name. Emmer Data. Okay. That's kind of a lame name. You know, Kenbridge Analytica was, I don't know, I don't know, it's because of Cambridge and it sounds prestigious or something. Emmer Data? Sounds like my uncle just decided to start a company to steal other people's personal data. Weird. Well, at least, you know what, Tim? If you rotate your passwords, at least you're adding a layer of security. You are adding a layer of security. And I'll honestly say there's a certain number of websites that I use the same password. The ones that I deem, you know, when we subscribe to something, we subscribe that there's different important things. So for example, my YouTube accounts, my Gmail accounts, they're all extremely secure. They all have two-factor authentication, and they are all with different passwords because I can't take the risk. This is so important for me. I mean, if my main channels would be hacked into, that would be nuts. It would be a major issue for me. So they all have different passwords, all have very long passwords. Two-factor authentication that you have to. And basically, I do have a certain number of accounts. A certain number of accounts that are not important, really. So basically, those accounts, I have the same password because it's like, you know, if you hack into that site where I read news, what the hell are you gonna do? I'm just reading news, and there's no money involved. There's no nothing. I'll just create another one, you know. So it depends on the importance of things. But I do have several passwords. But I'll put the importance depending on, you know, one of the things that I always want to say, and I think it's good to repeat it regularly, is the fact that don't forget, if for example your email gets hacked into. I got that so many times when I was in the tech, you know, fixing computers for people. So many times I had people saying, oh, well, you know, if my email gets hacked into, I don't care, I'll just start a new one. And that is, sorry about the noise, maybe I should close the window. And I'm sorry, but you have to care, because that email is sending emails to your friends, your family. You know, that means you now expose your friends and family to ransomware, to phishing attempts. You know, you're just thinking about yourself. You're selfish when you think that a hacked email is, oh, who cares, I'll just start another one. No, you're exposing everybody else, man. Too much traffic here. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna close the window a little bit because they are making some there's this, actually they blocked half of this main street here, and so a lot of cars are just doing a detour and pass on my street because there's too much traffic. So anyways, you know, your carelessness in your accounts can also cause problems to others, and never forget that. Hey, Malaysia is taking fake news to a new level. They had a new law that was actually enforced that meant that basically if you post fake news on the internet, you can have a fine, you can even go to jail. And now there's the first case. Hey TOT, nice to have you here. Anwar Khalif, nice to have you here too. So and so so basically, there's a guy there that apparently posted a video of a something that happened over there with law enforcement, and kind of reported wrong or fakely that law enforcement wasn't there and all of that. And anyways, the government said, you know, well, that's fake news. So he got like a month in jail and something like a $5,000 fine or something. You know, I one of the things I remember saying on my own Facebook page, because I've got, I don't know, 300 friends on Facebook, something like that, and I see my share of fake news going through all the time. And you know, I find it that it's kind of my duty to go and, you know, educate people and say, no, this is fake, and here's the link to where they talk about the fact that it's fake. Like, you know, sometimes I'll post a link to Snopes.com, for example, that says, no, that's fake, that's been going around since, you know, 2005 and blah blah blah. And you know, I some of the fake news are against big companies. You know, I don't know. You know, you'll see something go through and says, oh well, Coca-Cola puts drugs in their, you know, Coke beverages and gets kids stoned, whatever, you know. And you're like, okay, seriously, you're sharing that, okay? And I always, you know, I remember posting once and said, you know what? I am surprised that companies don't take the time to just like look at this and say, okay, that news is really bad for our image. I'm going to sue the ass off you. Because, I mean, some of them sometimes it's clearly aimed at you know, really making a company look bad. There's a lot of it going around. Andrew Arias, nice to have you here. So basically that there is a control on fake news. I find it okay, but the problem is, and here's the big problem, who decides that it's fake news? And at what point can you qualify something of fake news? And that's where I'm scared of a control like that. Because say that guy in Malaysia actually honestly reported that, hey, the cops took 2 hours to come to this scene when something happened, when everybody says, or the government says, no, they were there after 5 minutes. Say the guy is telling the truth. What prevents any government authorities from saying, oh no, you lied, that's fake news? Just because it's not nice for them. It's really complex here to kind of deal with that, honestly. And you know, there's fake news that's obviously fake. There's fake news that, yeah, and what if? You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy, but sometimes you see something go through and you're like, well, I don't believe that news. I believe it's fake news. But honestly, I wasn't there. So, who knows? You know, I will not dismiss some things sometimes as, no, this is fake news. It's sometimes a little more complex than that. Hey, you guys buy the cheap chargers like that? Look at that, I got one here. I'm going to show you guys one. This one is a cheap one. And I'm going to show you. This is an officially cheap one from China. So this is probably the one. It does have a green dot, but don't be fooled. It's not original Apple. But it does look like it. It does look like an original Apple little cube. But this thing is, I believe I bought on eBay for like $2.99 plus shipping. It was like 50 cents. So, you know, I got also bitten by the little cubes like this. Now this one works fine, but there's a lot and more that's getting on the market, being dumped on the markets, and they're creating some problems. We even had a story here in the story here in Quebec. There's a house that burned down, and in the news they were saying it's one of those Chinese cheap little, you know, plug-in adapters. So a certain number of them are actually very bad and should not be used. And the more I read about it, the more it seems that, you know what, you better buy the official things when you buy something, even though it's more expensive, because these are maybe not good. You know, even this one could be bad. I use it, but you know what, if you bought one of those, I still use it, but I always use it when I'm home. And when I'm not home, these are unplugged. I never let them plugged in. So nothing bad could happen. But you got to be careful with this. I'll tell you that. Are you antisocial? I sure am not. I'm more of a social guy, as you guys can see. But so I would be a bad hacker, from what the U.S. Army says. If you're antisocial, apparently, these are the best hackers. These are the best at working in teams to do all sorts of jobs like that. And basically, it's funny because I've known so many people over time that were, you know, tech and really intense tech guys, and you know what, I tend to believe it, because some of the best guys that I've seen for tech were also the guys that aren't very social. Richard Claudio, nice to have you here. Wait, it's normal. I had that hang at 100% for a long time before it started to download. It's gonna go through. Just let it do its job. So, anyways, if you're antisocial, maybe you should enroll in some kind of hacking courses or something. Do you want to find love on Facebook? There's Facebook dating that's coming. That's going to be kind of an interesting one. I can't wait to have some of my friends kind of tell me, hey, I met that significant other through Facebook Love or something. I think that's something. So, you know, Facebook has the statistics on us. So basically, Facebook knows that there's 200 million Facebook users that are single. And, well, you know, if you're already there and you're already on Facebook, why not put a dating side to it and do that? So, Robinson says the word love and Facebook do not belong in the same sentence. So you would not like to have you know, love at first sight on Facebook. I was going through my Facebook feed one day and I saw this pretty girl show up, and I said, I'm in love, and clicked. We got married after 30 days, and while we were getting married, she absolutely wanted to put that likes. She wanted to click like. She couldn't not do it. Oh man, Russian brides, yeah. It reminds me of a story of a long time ago, a story of on a TV show. There were two guys that were on a dating site, and that were the guys were actually, you know, kind of talking with a Russian lady, and she was like, you know, really intense of, well, you know, I love you so, I want to go to Canada because it looks so beautiful, and would you meet me at the airport, and so on. And the guy says, "Oh yeah, you know, I found love." And after a couple of weeks, of course, he doesn't know that on the other side, you know, the lady is probably named Igor, and he's a big, tall, hairy, muscly guy, being nice, you know, and doing these little cute sentences for love. And so the guy says, "Yeah, yeah, cool, that'd be fun." But, you know, then it starts up, you know, oh, well, I got a problem with my passport, and I need $1,000 to have it go through, and I don't have the money, so I can't go to Canada. And, of course, you know, the guy's in love, so he's like, "Well, I'll send you $1,000 if you want," and blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't stop. Until one day, the guy gets he gets the notice that, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll be at the Montreal International Airport you know, at that time, on that day." So he goes to the airport, and, you know, and they did their work. I mean, when he went to the airport, there was actually a flight coming in from Russia and so on. So he's sitting down, waiting for his love. He's got flowers, candy, all of that. And while he's waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and nobody arrives, he sees another guy that's waiting that also has flowers. So he decides he's going to go and talk to the guy. And the guy says, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm waiting for that girl from Russia that I've met online, and she is supposed to arrive today." And they start talking about the details, and it's the exact same details. So they just kind of understand suddenly. Then they were fooled by some Russian whatever. But the worst and the saddest part of this is, you know, apart from a broken heart or something, the saddest part is they lost, like, you know, $25,000 each. And it always amazes me, you know, you want to send money to somebody you don't know on another side of the world because she says or he says she loves you. I don't know, that I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, and there's so many people to meet in your area. Why don't you meet people here? I mean, come on. So Facebook Love coming to a screen near you, and I want to see the first people that will actually have found love through this. Ubuntu 18.04 LTS. I thought I'd talk about that a little bit because I installed it on my laptop, and it doesn't work well. It freezes quite regularly on things. Sometimes it just doesn't work well. Google Chrome, I installed Chromium, which doesn't work. So I'm stuck with Firefox that's already pre-installed. It's dreadfully slow. It's dreadfully slow on the internet. And I've just got a bad time with it. I mean, you know, just for the heck of it, I'm just gonna start it. I think I just moved the camera, but it's okay. I'm just gonna, you know, show you guys just quickly. I think it's gonna give you guys an idea. So I've installed it on this machine, which is a 17-inch Toshiba Core 2 machine, and I had Elementary OS on it before, which is a Linux Mint type distro, and Elementary OS worked fantastically well, honestly. But this one, Ubuntu 18.04 long-term support, works really bad. So look at that. I would already be in Elementary OS, honestly, if I would have the other OS installed right now. It's slow and long to arrive there. So here's my password sign in. So I'll click, put the password, press enter, and so we're at the desktop in kind of a few seconds probably. And here we go. This is the desktop, and I thought it worked well because I got there and I was like, oh, this is cool. And nope, it's dreadfully slow. You know, let's see if I can open Firefox just for the sake of it. So Firefox, how long is it going to take for Firefox to start? Of course, because I'm doing this, it's going to start real fast, and you guys are going to say, yeah, he's just ranting. No, look at that. Look at how long it takes for Firefox to start. It's an eternity. I mean, I didn't have that type of issue with you know, the other elementary OS. And if I try to, so let's check it out here. If I try to start Google Chromium, which is the version for Linux, it shouldn't do nothing. It crashes. If it opens up, if it starts up, you know what? I'm gonna scream. So no, like it crashed and it disappeared from the taskbar at the top. So I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy with Ubuntu, and I'll try it out for a few hours and see. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go back to another Linux distro. It doesn't work well. And for those that are Ubuntu fans, it changes a lot of things. It changed the desktop. It used to use Unity. Now it's using GNOME. I don't know. I don't like it, and it doesn't work well on this machine. So I don't know if anybody else has the experience and they've tried 1804, but this thing obviously is a bad Linux distro. That's pretty much what I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Okay. Oh God. So this is a little picture that was shown, and it represents a Microsoft Office of what is it? Joe Belfiore. That whoops, sorry guys, I'm pressing buttons, and of course there's a blur on the right side of the screen, and people are like, what is that blur exactly? And they started speculating. So that picture made a lot of the internet go wild for a couple of days. People thinking that this might be some kind of thing, that like a phone or something, that they might actually show on next week. So anyways, whatever it is, we know that he often teases everybody with pictures like that to kind of show, hey, something new coming up next week. So we're going to see build coming up. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's announced there for sure. And you're at the tech show number 115, and we are May the 3rd. And before we go to the questions, let's talk about my shiny new Galaxy S9 Plus phone. So look at that. When we compare it to my old S7, that was not a Edge, it was just an S7. Beautiful phone, dual cameras. It's amazingly good, amazingly nice. And I just want to compare it a little bit, because you know what happens. I've started using it, so it's a beautiful, beautiful phone. Look at that, very, very nice phone. Just love it. The background you have here is a background that comes from the Microsoft Launcher, which gives you a different picture every day, which I just love. And the Microsoft Launcher is just a beautiful, beautiful launcher. It has a lot of things that are really cool, including Cortana. So my comments, my quick comments, and it's to answer a question from Tim Robinson, mostly. So Tim Robinson asked me, do you you know, is there really enough to change, or enough, you know, more power in this S9 Plus compared to the S7 to really change your phone? And a very quick and simple answer is no, not at all. Because even though it is faster, and there's no doubt about it, it's faster. When I click an icon of it, you know, I've compared a few games launches, app launches, surfing the web. This thing is faster than an S7. Okay, there's no doubt in it. Faster to a point where you need a new phone? No. This old S7 is still kick-ass fast. Camera-wise, is the camera here so much better that you need this instead of this? No. The camera on the F7 is amazingly good, and yeah, the clarity and I'd say the colors of the different pictures are a little more interesting. So you see that there's something, and basically, yeah, the camera is a little better, and yes, absolutely. The phone's a little faster, yes, absolutely. The most positive thing that I have of this phone, the most beautiful screen I've ever seen. The most beautiful screen I've ever seen, and I tell you, it's immediately visible that this screen is superior to anything else I've seen before. The colors, the richness, the crispness of the screen is great. But in real world situation, if you have, okay, I got it for $50 after all the mumbo jumbo things with a contract of 2 years with my carrier. And what made me change, honestly, is because I wanted to have a phone with a bigger screen, and this is a 6.2-inch phone on the screen. It's beautiful, and I'm happy because of that first of all. Remove the beautiful screen, remove that it's a bigger screen. If I would have changed my S7 to S9, I would not have done it, not even for $50, because it's just not better enough. It's not just such an amazing thing compared to the S7 that I'm gonna do like, oh wow, this is great. I love it. I'm happy to have a bigger screen, and that's why I went for it. Honestly, if you have a S7 Edge or a S8 Edge, don't waste your money on that. Not worth it. Your phone is great, and it's already very, very fast. I gotta say, when I started comparing different apps and different things with this one, I have to say I was amazed at how the S7 is very fast compared to the S9. And you know, yes, the S9 has an edge. It has a better, it has a faster processor, and it's obvious that it's faster. But man, at the same time, I look at that and I'm like, wow, this thing, my S7 kicks ass, and it's still great for a long time to come. And it's what is mostly impressive for me with this. I would have thought, you know, when I moved to S7 was my first Android phone, but I was comparing it with other people that had Android phones, and I could see that my Galaxy S7 was very, very fast and really good compared to other Android phones. But boy, the S9 Plus, even though a little faster, I can't say I'm impressed. I'm not impressed. I wanted to have a wow phone. It doesn't wow me, except for the screen. And I'm happy to have it. I don't regret at all. For $50, I'm happy. I wanted a bigger screen phone, and might as well go with the S9 Plus if I have to go with something. But I'm not wowed at all. I am really not wowed. And here's Mr. Cat, by the way. So it's something that that is mostly what I recognize when I look at the phone. It's like, you know, and it has all sorts of little bells and whistles and stuff. The face recognition is good. It's good. The fingerprint reader in the back, very nice. Unlocks the phone real fast. Of course, there's the screen. So when I look at the screen, there's retina scan of my face, and there's face recognition. So it unlocks. I have a little negative side to that. It unlocks 8 out of 10 times. The 2 other times I use my fingerprint because it doesn't seem to see me well, even though there's a little flashing light, so it's supposed to work on low light or low level light. I'm not impressed. Honestly, I'm not impressed at all. I love it. I'm happy to have a bigger screen, but I gotta tell you one thing. Anybody that has a S7 or S8, keep your phone. Don't spend money. It's not worth it. Wait for the next one. Or wait for the Note 9 that's gonna come. Maybe that will be something to do, you know, to be impressed with, basically. So Mr. Cat saying hello to everybody. So that's pretty much what I have to say, honestly. So yes, he is fat. I know. So you know, but you know, Verdict, I still love it. And on the Fix-It channel, my Easy Computer Fixes channel, I'll have a full review, what I like, what I don't like, and I will have a real-world app by app situation. And of course, one last thing about this thing is, you know, I love it also because of the big screen, and I'm happy to have it. I'm really happy to have it, honestly. So that's pretty much what I have to say on that. Sorry, I got a private message here from somebody that has a few problems. So anyways, that's pretty much I gotta say. I'm happy. But you know, very, very simple. I'm happy and unimpressed. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I checked yesterday, and still no. But yeah, that purple one is beautiful. Absolutely. I am so really find it. You know, I had the choice here. There was only 2 choices on my carrier: black or purple was the 2 only choices. And purple. I found that the purple was beautiful, so I took it purple. It's a very, very beautiful phone, and it is a nice phone. I mean, when you look at that screen is totally amazing. I mean, so beautiful, just incredible. It's impressive. And of course, what's cool is that with the Chromecast, for those that, because somebody asked me, you know, if you could cast the screen or do something. Yeah, because with the Chromecast, all I have to do is go to my Google Home and say I want to cast screen, delivered, and here we go. And you'll see my phone screen there. And so that thanks to the Chromecast and the fact that I'm wireless here. So here it is. Look at that. What I personally like to do is then, whoops, go here and here. And here we go. I can play Asphalt 8 on my TV thanks to the Chromecast. So it's kind of cool. It's really, really nice to, and it's very, very fast on that. You know, for that reason also, you see the power of this phone. When I cast with my S7, there's a little bit of lag. Just a few milliseconds, but enough that you can't play a racing game, for example. But here, I can actually play Asphalt 8 on my TV because the lag is almost inexistent. And there, we could see that this phone is more powerful in doing so. Of course, it has the gigabit LTE connectivity, which is not available here. So I tested some speeds the other day with the LTE connection, and I get about 100 megabits per second down, 70 megabits per second up on the internet connectivity of the phone. So you know, this is a cool thing. Being able to cast like that is kind of nice. Now I need to find. Well, I don't really need. It's okay like this. So it's really cool stuff. You know, it's really cool to do that. I got to tell you that. So it's pretty cool. I like that. Tim accidentally Chromecasted next door. You know what? About 6 months ago, I was testing out something with Bluetooth, and I accidentally connected to one of my neighbor's TVs doing controls, and I was like, whoa, I'm actually controlling a TV that I can't see. And it was a Samsung TV. It was just crazy. Rick Sadar says, check my computer, all my USB ports work. Cool. A few questions that we'll go through. So, Gripple Pearls, your low disk usage thing, look for a video that I will post in the next 24 hours, because I have a list of my videos that I still have to do here. And I actually added remove low disk space message video. So you're in there, and these are the videos I'll do before the weekend. So it's coming up for you. Look at my video and I'll show you how. And to answer your question about, you know, what can I remove? What can I remove when I use the disk cleaning utility? You know what? You don't have to be scared about anything of the disk utility, Gripple Pearls. Anything, if you remove everything in there, you're not losing anything important. Honestly, at all. And from the and yes, by the way, I'm impressed that you did some screenshots for the email. The thing is, you're stuck with a problem that is a known problem. Even Windows 7 did that. Some of your partitions that are meant for recovery have a not a lot of space available. So there's a warning that pops up and says, "Oh, by the way, I want to you have no disk space here," and it annoys you all the time with that. But there's nothing you can do about it, because unless you want to erase your recovery partition. So we'll check it out, and you'll have a video. You'll have to tweak the registry in my video, by the way. Well, there's going to be two things that I'll explain. One is you can change the amount of warning for the low disk space, but if it still gives you that little registry, but you're going to see it's super easy to do if you just follow. It's just a change in the registry so that it stops annoying you with low disk space, for sure. In the email, so let me just go to the email. The email here. The email over here, we have Tommy that wrote to us also. Tommy, let me just go back here. So Tommy asked questions that are in what we were talking about last week. So first off, he wants to say hello to everybody, that he misses you all, and that he really is hoping to come back soon in the chat and say hi to everybody. So questions about his printer. So you see, you can't find the install disk for your printer. Can I still install the printer? If so, how? Yes, absolutely. You don't have the disk with your printer, no sweat. Go to the manufacturer website. So if it's I'm trying to remember, you gave me the model last week. So if it's a Canon, go to canon.com. If it's a HP, hp.com. If it's a Brother, go to abrother.com. If you're on, if it's a I don't know, a Epson, epson.com or whatever, go to the manufacturer of your printer. In that website, you will go to the support side of the website, In the support side, you'll have often you have downloads, or you have support for your device. They ask you to enter the model number, the model name of your device. So enter that, and you will find your specific printer in the manufacturer's website. They always have a download page where you can download the latest version of the driver that you need to install it. So it's from the manufacturer website that you'll have your printer driver. So whatever brand your printer is, go to the manufacturer's website on the internet and find your printer there. And from there, and it's very important to find either the exact printer, or sometimes they put a series. If HP is good for that, for example. I've got an HP P1505 here, a laser printer. But often they put the driver number as 1500 series. Oh, well, the 1500 series includes 1505, basically. So the manufacturer will have a driver, you download it and you install it from there. Also, you were talking about the printer being on the desktop computer. Now, I don't know if you had it hooked up with a USB cable or purely by wireless. If it's hooked up by USB cable, then maybe one of the easiest thing to do is to just plug it into whatever machine you want to print on and print. But if it's a wireless printer, when you actually start that setup sequence from the file that you have downloaded from the manufacturer, you will be asked how to set it up. It's time to set it up again and answer the questions. If you have a Wi-Fi printer, have it connect to your Wi-Fi, to your wireless router. That means it's going to detect your wireless router. It's gonna ask you which one is in the list if there's many Wi-Fi around you. It's going to ask you to enter the password for your router so that the printer can connect to it. From there, after that, once it's connected within the router, it will actually be visible to all the computers around it. And usually that HP setup that you have there, it will actually enable network search, and it will actually look for it through the network. It should be rather automatic. So that's pretty much how you're going to do it. Follow the instructions. It shouldn't be that difficult. So that's all within, honestly, the setup that you will be doing with that file. So go to the manufacturer and find the driver, download it, and it's going to just help you out. We have Atawahinta that says hello, and says that she was wondering if I could discuss the pros and cons of using a Windows image as a backup method versus using the media creation tool to do a clean install and reload everything. She says, if I'm not experiencing any problems, I always make a Win image for use as a backup. I do this for administrative PowerShell, from the administrative PowerShell, and she includes everything. So thanks in advance. So here's the thing. There are several ways to back up your system in order to get it back. And one of them, of course, is the fact that you can do a system image. Hey, Atawahinta, we were just talking. And yeah, you got here in time. So here's the thing. The image that you make is a good idea for one particular thing. Is that when it installs your system, it installs everything. It's the easiest way, honestly, to get back and have everything working, because it just takes the image, puts it back as is, and it's kind of a photocopy of your computer at a specific time. Very simple, at a specific time. So it's a great way to do it if you just want to, come back up and have everything already set up and just work. It's good for that. But there's a negative side to doing an image like that. It's time consuming, and it's often very, very slow when you actually want to get the image back. So that could be one of the problems of an image. It also gets outdated. So of course, if you do an image, a full image, right? That winter makes me laugh right now. So I was talking about the image basically gets outdated quite fast. So if you do a lot of things, if you install new software all the time, that image needs to be redone regularly. And that is probably the other negative side to it, is you got to do it regularly. It is time consuming to do an image. But a lot of people like that. You know, a friend of mine just wants that. When he wants to restart his machine, he wants that image, and then he wants all the software to already be there. But like I said, it outdates quite fast. And remember that as you move in time with your computer, that image, if you make it regularly, say you make a new image every 6 months, remember that that image is also following your Windows system that has, you know, a bigger registry, has, you know, maybe some bloated files and software and stuff in there that with time, you know, even though your computer's still working fine, with time can cause some issues. So I prefer, personally, I like, so once a month. So at a once a month rate, you don't lose a lot of stuff, and if your computer works really well, that is actually a good way of getting back fast. I mean, when you put that image back, your computer is, you know, never really much more than a month old. It's not too bad. That's not too bad. So, you know, if your computer works well, it actually could be a good idea to do so, honestly. If you want to take the time to do it, it's just that it is time consuming, basically. A clean install, what's good with a clean install is it restarts everything new. So for example, you have some hardware changes, you bought a new printer, a new camera, you bought some, or you changed the software, a new version of this. What's interesting here is that, you know, you can of course uninstall the software, uninstall the drivers, but they leave behind all sorts of things. So your images over time get full of junk, even though your computer works fine, and it's normal. It's normal part of Windows operations. Your computer gets more and more junk on it over time because of files left behind and so on. So at some point, it's not a bad idea to kind of just sit down and say, you know what? From now on, I'm going to do a clean install, which means it's going to be at the most basic level. Reinstall my stuff that I only need. And, you know, you can do an image after that. What's nice is that you also remove sometimes, you know, we install programs and software on our computers, and you know, after a while you look at your program list and you're like, okay, I haven't used that in a while, and that in a while, and so on, you know. So you get to a point where, you know, you do accumulate all sorts of stuff. The idea is, you know what, I personally prefer to do a clean install, because it kind of, you know, puts my computer fresh with, you know, a reformatted hard drive. And going forward, I know it's, you know, it's like that, but it's a very long process. The way that you're doing it is quite all right. If you like it like that, and if your computer goes well, it's you know, it's not something that I say don't do it. It's absolutely, actually, for anybody that doesn't want to spend you know, a million hours reinstalling the software, remembering where's the key for that program that I bought last year, and so on. It's a great way to do it. And it all depends what you want to do. I prefer, personally, the clean install because I like to start, when I start, you know, reinstall a computer for of some reason, I like to start it fresh, brand new, with the most basic of stuff, and just reinstall what I want, and you know, have it at the most basic level if I can. But you know, but it's not bad, you know. One of the things that you will notice of a clean install at the Wahinta is that if you have been running your computer for a long time, you'll notice that one of the advantages of doing a clean install rather than using an image, even though you'll have to reinstall your software, you might find that, hey, my computer's faster. Because of the bloating of Windows over time, it kind of, you know, slows it down from year, you know, it's a slow process. It's a slow process. I mean, it's so slow, in fact, that it takes a while. You know, often it takes a year and a half, 2 years, and you're like, yeah, my computer seems to be a little slow now. You notice it after a long time, because every time you have an update, every time you new software, you update your software, you uninstall something, computer gets just teeny wincy a little slow. But you don't notice it because the differences are very, very small. And at some point, you actually will find that, you know what, doing a clean install is actually making my computer faster suddenly. So from time to time, it's not a bad idea. Remember that some files on your hard drive can become corrupt, can cause some issues over time. You know, it could be, you know, it could be as simple as you know, you use your image if you need it, and if some problems occur, well, maybe it's time to clean install also. And you know, it's a very and what I see often is you know, the preference. People have a preference for a certain thing. That's the reason why you know, like Ate Wahinta says to Grateful Pearls, you know, do a clean install. I mean, I'm scared to death of doing it, which is totally normal for most people. You know, I'm not scared of a clean install, but I hate doing one. It's one of the things I just hate doing, a clean install, honestly. So hey, Cosmic Lettuce, nice to have you here, and don't forget that guy has a great astronomy podcast in the evening at 0200 hours UTC, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. He's the man of astronomy. And you know what is nice about an image like you're doing, for anybody that's scared of a clean install, well, it's great for that. It's really great for that, because you know, your computer's up and running. It's like it was. There's no surprises, no this thing doesn't want to work, there's no I can't install my printer anymore, there's no, you know, it just works because it's already okay. It was taken from a moment where your computer worked perfectly. So of course when you put it back, your computer works perfectly. But I gotta say one thing about a clean install, and it's that in Windows 10, clean install is the easiest it's the easiest Windows install ever. There's never been an operating system of Windows that's been so easy to install. It's automated, so automated actually, that it just works, and that's it. Cosmic Lettuce, to answer your question, the registry in Windows is a little bit like our spine, if you want. It's the basic structure that actually Windows is based upon. So the registry, as really, it's really like the spine that we have in our back. It holds the rest of our system and it works with our own body. It has everything needed, the information, that things go through there. That's pretty much what it is in Windows. It is simply the central place where everything is aggregated and where every information is linked with other information that Windows needs to work. It is an old system. One of the bad things about the registry is that Windows is built upon that and is built upon that since Windows 1. And the registry is unfortunately something that Windows would greatly benefit of removing or getting away from it. Problem is, you can't. Due to backward compatibility, you got to keep the registry working. So the registry has been there, but it's been bigger and bigger with each Windows version. And all of that for the sake of backward compatibility, unfortunately. Registry cleaners don't, honestly, registry cleaners do nothing. Honestly, they really do nothing. I've never seen anybody in anything, and once again, I'll say it's my honest opinion, because over years I've had so many people, swear I do my registry cleaning every week and my computer's faster. But honestly, anything that cleans your registry is useless, and you have the added bonus of maybe creating some kind of problem when you play with the registry. These automatic things, and I've seen it in the past. People using, I did fix quite a few computers where people were using registry cleaners and their computer had some problems afterwards because of missing keys or missing information that some hardware needed. It's a very delicate thing playing around with the registry, and it's an even more delicate thing to let a piece of software do it. So but so these are things that I don't really kind of like. Gripple Pearls, you're the only one that I know of that have mentioned that problem with the low disk space. I don't know. I wonder if when it installed the April update, they didn't add some files or something that finally did that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I've got to say that. What else do we have? Quickly. So like I said, the Gripple Pearls, with their disk cleaner, you can remove everything if you want. You'll not remove anything important. Don't worry about it. Steve Martin has a problem with adding names to photos, and I'm intrigued by this one, I gotta say. So you say that since you've since you have the new version, I'll need to take a look, and I'll actually email you personally for that one, because I wonder what happened here, and I would like to test it on my machines before I answer anything. And considering the crap on the new version, which is at the start screen, I will be coming back to you with that, because I have to say I find it kind of annoying also that all of that's there. I at first was like, oh, this is nice, it's telling me what the picture is all about and whatever, but at some point you're like, nah, I don't want to have that crap. So look for and you know what, to make sure that I actually do the video, I'm adding that video to the videos that I'll be posting before the weekend's over. So I'll call it remove crap from start screen, and look for a video coming up in the next 24 to 48 hours. It's now on my list of things to do. this list I got to do before the weekend. So that's my little personal list. So I'll be checking that for sure. And oh, names are back. Sheriff's House. Okay, cool. And for the things on the screen, you know, cosmic lettuce, pen and paper. You know, it depends on what. There are things that I prefer pen and paper. Like for my ideas, you know what? I don't want to, because what I like about pen and paper, and by the way, this is my favorite pad. It's the idea pad. Look at that. So it says it's a good idea. So this is my work pad. Always great ideas. And the reason I like pen and paper, it's that when you get an idea, if I would use a computer to or my phone to dictate or to, you know, I have to turn on the phone, fire up whatever app I'm going to take. You know, I'm going to take notes, so whatever, and then take the notes, and you know, pen and paper is easy. It's like, hey, I just got an idea. Just take, you know, the pad, put the idea down. It's easy. It's there, and I just cross whatever I. So this is going to stay because this is my pen and paper thing, and my ideas go there for every video, everything I want to do, whatever. It's always on the pen and paper like that. Catalin, hello there. I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Cosmic Lettuce says, I've carried a small notebook and pen around since my childhood. Easy, quick, can't break. Yeah, it can still get lost, but you know, it's easy. You don't have to fire up any device to start taking notes. I will sometimes, even if I'm out, I don't carry a pen and paper. So if I'm out, I will, of course, you know, take my phone and take notes. Honestly, I find it kind of tedious, a little. It's not that easy to actually go there and take notes. And you know, if you dictate the note, well, you know, your phone understands 75% of what you're going to say. So you know, you're going to say, you know, got to make a video about start screen problems, and it's when I look at it, it's gonna say, okay, take a video about lettuce or whatever. You know, it's just like, you know, take a video about carrots. What was that? Carrots? Why is that carrots? I never said carrots. So anyways, you know. Yes, I do have a video of my Tim Robinson actually posted a video of me singing at the karaoke last Friday on his channel. If you guys want to have your laugh your head off, I kind of started with a a little falsetto note in my voice. God. Decent system for OBS Studio. You know what? I've noticed that anything that is either screen recording or anything that requires you to broadcast requires a decent machine. Honestly, a recent Core i5 or i5 or i7 would probably be a good, you know, a good set for that. Older machines tend to have a lot of problems. I look at it here, you know, and I have some older machines with OBS Studio on them. It doesn't work as well. Misses a lot of frame rates. But you don't need a super powerful machine in the sense that you know, like I'm streaming with a Core i5 that's 5 years old. Core i5 machine, and do my screen captures on it, and it actually works really well. So it doesn't have to be the latest generation, but it does, you know, at least a Core i5 or i7 Intel, or maybe one of the newest Ryzen CPUs. That could be good. So hey guys, I'm gonna say bye for now. We'll be back in 25 minutes with the Windows Insider Hour, and we'll see where we are at, because that looks like Saturn rings. That is very cosmic lettuce like. So we'll be, of course, checking out if the install, I don't know if the install is ready here. Let's check that out. Is my computer ready to restart soon? I started this thing. And it's, what the hell is that? Yeah, it wants to restart now, so we're going to click that button. And in 25 minutes, we'll be in the middle of the install, and hopefully even at the end of the install, and see what's there a little later. So the real install process is now actually going to happen. So hope you enjoyed today's show. As usual, it's always fun to be here. We'll be here next week for the tech show as usual, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1900 hours UTC. And in 25 minutes, 24 minutes from now, we'll be on the Windows Insider Hour. I'll get beer number 2. And please go see our friend Cosmic Lettuce Astronomy show. It's really, really good. The guy knows what he's talking about, I can tell you that. I know enough about astronomy that I know he knows what he's talking about. So take care, everybody, and see you in 24 minutes from now on the Insider channel, where we're going to talk about, hopefully, build 17661 of the new Redstone 5 builds. And I'll rant about the Insider program being bad because, man, I'm not happy with the April 2018 update right now. So take care, everybody. Love you all. Thanks for the donations. I saw a couple donations come through while I was doing the show. Much appreciated. Thank you all. And love you all. See you in 25 minutes for some. See you next week for the others. And thanks for being great fans. Bye, everybody.